Harihi Om, my dear holy souls. This is Mata Anantananda, Sri Sadguru Shivarama Avadhuta Ashramam, Kamavaram village, Kannur district, Andhra Pradesh, state from Bharat, that is India. Under the caption of Wonderful Indian Folk Stories, we are enjoying the wonderful, twistful, suspensive, and adventurous stories of Batti and Vikramaditya, the historical personalities of ancient India. In that series of videos, this is 98th one. The main issue in this video is Champaka Valli's debate with Vikramaditya and their marriage. Main incidents in the story are Champaka Valli's quarrel with Parakrama Surya, both lost their determination. The elders could understand their previous births arranged their marriage. The outcoming skills from this story are the twist in the story thrills us. We can feel intimacy with Vikramaditya because of his sweet naughtiness. The remaining story let us enjoy in the video. As we enjoyed in the previous video, Champaka Valli, after hearing the previous birth story of Parakrama Surya, she felt very anger and she torn off the curtain behind which she was hidden herself, and she came out and stood before Parakrama Surya. She was very angry. Her face was like a rose with red color. Her eyes were spreading the um, fire like that. And the entire body of her was with red color, trembling with anger. And she straight away approached Parakrama Surya and said, "Oh, Mr. Selya, how dare you are to tell our previous birth story? You cheated me and once again you are claiming me. How dare you are? Actually, I fell into the fire and you escaped with somebody else, and again you are claiming me," she said like that. And after hearing that, Parakrama Surya, he pretended very strange, very wonder towards her. And all the people gathered there, including the king, queen, and everybody, they were very shocked. At that time, Parakrama Surya had turned his face towards Vijay Rai Ranga as if he didn't like to watch the face of Champaka Valli, and said with the king, "Oh, my dear king, I trusted you and I came in front of you to show my performance, but you cheated me. I think you planned like this to break my determination, as I'm not wanted to see, I don't want to see the faces of females, but you planned like this." He said like that. And Vijay Rai Ranga, he was not able to understand anything, what was going on there, he was not able to understand. And the same case with the others also. But Champaka Valli, she could understand what Parakrama Surya said. And she said, "Oh, Selya, who is there to break determination? I am also very particular about my determination. Till date, I didn't see any male's face. But now, because you claimed me that I have cheated you in the previous birth, that's why I came in front of you. Otherwise, I am very particular about the determination, not like you," she said like that. Then Parakrama Surya had turned his face towards the sky, towards upward, and pretended that he was watching the issue with knowledgeous sight, as having using the magical powers like that, and then turned his face towards Champaka Valli and said, "Oh, see, Jhallari, now I came to understand you. You woman, you cheated me. In the last moment when I was falling to the fire, you escaped from me. I think you have gone with some other male pigeon. Otherwise, why you left me? You cheat lady. You left children and you cheated me. That's why now you are humiliating like this." He said like that. Immediately, Champaka Valli, with ferocious voice, she said, "Oh, Selya, how, how are you claiming me? last moment you cheated me. And I prayed Hingula Devi and I had laid this birth as a princess to the king, because you are the sinful person. That's why you are living in the forest, beyond the limits of cities, like this, under the trees, in caves, like that. You're suffering yourself, not myself. I am living in the palace like a princess. You are the sinful man. That's why this was happened to you. She said like that. Immediately, Parakrama Surya said, retorted her, "Oh, sinful lady, again you are claiming me. How dare you are to do say like that? Because you have little bit faith by serving me as a husband, and along with me you served to goddess Hingula Devi. That's why you had taken this much of a luxurious life. That's all. But it was all over. I don't like to see your face even. Do you expect that I'll take your hand? That's why you are claiming me like this. But I don't take your hand and I don't like to live with you. Go wherever you want to go." He said like that. And again, Champakavalli retorted him, "Oh man, how dare you are take to say like that? You go, you whatever you, what wherever you want to go. I live here. I also don't like to see your face, and I don't like to take your hand, and I'm not even interested on it. You idiot." She was continuing to scold him. As well, Parakrama Surya also. Then the area became very noisy because people gathered there also. They were trying to understand the issue. That's why they were murmuring with each other. And Vijayaraya Ranga also felt very wonder about it. He was not able to understand. But lightly he could grasp it. That's why, with a loud voice, he ordered his daughter, "Oh, my dear daughter Champakavalli, keep quiet." And he turned his face towards Parakrama Surya and said, "Oh, young man, oh, prince, please respect my elderness. Please keep quiet for some time at least. I request you. Rather, I order you." Then, by showing regards to the elder, Vijayaraya Ranga, Parakrama Surya kept calm. At the same time, Champakavalli also, because of her father's order, she kept calm. But they were looking at each other with high angerness. And by watching all this, Bhatti was enjoying about his brother's naughtiness and knowledges and capability inside. And he was hiding his smile from face. And Parakrama Surya, actually Vikramaditya, he was also enjoying the scene with high naughtiness but pretending anger outside. Meantime, Vijay Ranga, along with his ministers, he discussed well, and they could understand the issue. So that Vijay Ranga said with his ministers, "Oh, my dear ministers, it seems that these two, my daughter Champakavalli and this prince Parakrama Surya, were in previous life, they were wife and husband, though as pigeons. By mistake or else God's fate, they they had misunderstood each other. Might be both of they fallen into the fire. Otherwise, they won't get this much of royal birth. And moreover, they had memorized their previous birth story also. That's why. So that because they served goddess Hingula Devi, that's why they might have this much of capacity, beauty, and knowledge. So that I'm preferring that in this life also, by God's grace, we should arrange the marriage of both of them. It's God's secret and God's order, I feel. Because they just misunderstood each other, but they loved each other. That's why they could recognize each other in this life also. He said like that. All the ministers supported him. And then he turned his face towards Parakrama Surya and said, "Oh, my dear young prince, listen, please pardon my advice also. Because in previous life, you both are wife and husband. Though you have taken pigeon's life. And but because you served each other and you loved each other, you served Hingula Devi. That's why you had taken this prince royal lives. So that I advise you. Anyway, both of you have lost your determination. Champakavalli had broken herself her determination as well. She had broken your determination also. Anyway, you lost it. And now, by losing your determination, Parakrama Surya, you have seen female's face as Champakavalli. Same case with Champakavalli. Champakavalli had also seen your face. So that there is no meaning to continue your determinations. So that obey my order. We want to arrange marriage to both of you. Accept. And then, because Parakrama Surya, alias Vikramaditya, had the target, that much of target only, so that he had hidden his smile and looked at Champakavalli with a naughty sight and accepted the proposal of Vijay Rai Ranga. And Champakavalli, by lost her anger, convinced by the words of her father, and once again looked at Vikramaditya and admired his manliness and handsomeness, and then she lowered her face. Her cheeks became as roses with shyness, as natural to the girls, and she nodded her head and she accepted her father's proposal. And all the citizens, they clapped with high happiness, and the ministers had shedded happy tears in the eyes as they loved royal family. And Vijay Rai Ranga and his wife, they became very blissful, and immediately he ordered all the people towards Vidyanagar, because if he allows some more time, might be both the minds of Parakrama Surya and Champakavalli may turn again and reverse, so that he didn't like to allow single minute like that. So immediately they rushed towards Vidyanagara, and then he uh, he consulted with Purohitas and arranged the marriage of of his daughter Champakavalli with Parakrama Surya the next day itself, because of his fear. Might both of they can change their minds, and again they might continue their determination. And on the next day, though the king didn't order them, but all the citizens, they felt very happy, and they made it the day as a festival. They decorated their houses as well, their bodies with new clothes and good ornaments, and they attended the marriage hall. And with auspicious things and Veda mantras, Vijay Rai Ranga had performed the marriage of Champakavalli and Parakrama Surya. All they were happy. After the marriage, leisurely they sat and discussing good things. At that time, by leaving Mohini's disguise, Bhatti, in his real um, form, he came there and he called on Parakrama Surya and said, "Oh, my dear king, my dear brother, the king of Ujjain, the a great emperor Vikramaditya, from, from tomorrow onwards, your forest living days will be over. We have to go to Ujjain." And all are felt very surprised. Vijay Rai Ranga so surprised like anything and said, "Is it not Parakrama Surya? Is he Vikramaditya?" Then Bhatti said, "Yes, Maharaja, yes." And Parakrama Surya, alias Vikramaditya, smiled beautifully and said, "Yes, my dear uncle, you are like my father because you have given your daughter to me. Yes, I am the emperor of Ujjain." And then Vijay Ranga felt very happy and put namaskar to him. And then he turned towards Bhatti and said, I feel that I have heard your voice, but I didn't see you, he said. Then both Bhatti and Vikramaditya laughed aloud. And Bhatti said, "Yes, Maharaja, my dear uncle, you have heard my voice, because in the disguise of Salya Raja, I approached you, and in the disguise of female Vikramamba, I planted my brother Vikramaditya in your daughter's palace, and by pretending friendship with your daughter, my brother have break the secrecy of your daughter about her determination. According to that, we planned to break her determination and to get marry her with my husband, with my brother. I have pretended as Mohini and performed my magic powers, Indrajala, Mahendrajala, and mesmerizing talents in front of you. And I have taken you, all of you, to the forest, and I introduced Vikramaditya as Parakrama Surya. This is all to make my brother's marriage with your daughter. I have done all of this. And Vijay Rai Ranga and his wife and all the people, they wondered like anything, and at the same time they welcomed it and they enjoyed a lot. And Vikramaditya said, by giving naughty looks towards Champaka Valli, and said with Vijay Rai Ranga, yes, my dear uncle, because I had seen your daughter and I came to notice about her determination. That's why we planned like this. Actually, what might be it happened in the previous life, Champakavalli, as in the form of jewelry, she mistook. It might be Celia, the male pigeon, also fallen down in the fire, or else it might be escaped. We don't know what happened. But by watching the single incident, Champakavalli had applied it to all the male, irrespective of birds, animals, and human beings. She hated mankind. It's not right. It's against their nature. That's why I want to give a lesson to her. And I like to have her as my wife. He said like that. Champakavalli, she could realize all the things, and on her beautiful face, there was a beautiful shyness along with high happiness. She lowered herself and fallen onto the foot of Vikramaditya. He had lifted her and hugged her and embraced her and made her to sit beside him. All they felt happy. And on the next they had to move towards Ujjain. And Vijay Rai Ranga and his wife, Queen, everybody got ready to give Chira Sare as the Hindu tradition to Champakavalli. And they were ready to leave. What will happen on the next part of the day story? Let us enjoy in the next video. Harihi Om. Thank you for watching.